Every summer, the hockey world transforms into a league of armchair general managers. We look at a team's salary cap spreadsheet, spot a player who might fit elsewhere, and suddenly, a trade proposal drops online that seems to magically solve everyone's problems. Recently, one such rumor started gaining traction, a proposal sending veteran Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman Morgan Rielly to the Anaheim Ducks. On the surface, it sounds like a neat little puzzle piece snapping into place. But when you actually think about it, when you look past the spreadsheet and into the reality of the NHL, this entire idea falls apart almost instantly. Today, we are breaking down exactly why this trade is pure fantasy and why both sides of this hypothetical deal would be making a massive mistake. Let us get into it. Let us lay out the exact rumor. The proposal suggests the Maple Leafs trade Morgan Rielly to Anaheim. In return, Toronto receives a 2029 third-round draft pick and a 2027 seventh-round pick. Crucially, there's no salary retention. For Toronto, the stated goal is obvious: clear $7.5 million in cap space and shed the final 4 years of Rielly's contract. For Anaheim, the theory is that they acquire a veteran, puck-moving presence to mentor their young blue line. It sounds tidy, but hockey trades are rarely tidy. Let's look at the 3 massive reasons this deal fails the reality test. First, the return for Toronto is simply too light. Let's be fair, Morgan Rielly is not a flawless player. He's in his 30s, he's known defensive limitations, and a $7.5 million cap hit is a significant number in today's NHL. However, he remains a highly valuable top 4 puck-moving defenseman with immense leadership experience and a track record of playing massive minutes. You don't move a player with 4 years remaining on his contract, especially in an era where the salary cap is rising, for a couple of late draft picks, unless you're in a state of absolute desperation to dump money. The Maple Leafs might crave cap flexibility, but they're not in the business of giving away one of their most important structural pieces for virtually nothing. It's bad asset management, plain and simple. Second, this proposal completely ignores a critical contractual detail. Morgan Rielly holds a no-movement clause. That means he gets a say. The entire argument from the trade proposer rests on speculation, treating players like digital assets to be shuffled around. But Rielly has spent his entire NHL career in Toronto. He has deep roots here. He has a family here. He's built a life in this city. Moving franchises is not just about changing jerseys on a spreadsheet. It's an enormous life decision for a player and their loved ones. Expecting a veteran with a no-movement clause to waive it for a rebuilding team in exchange for late draft picks is a profound misunderstanding of how players value their careers and their homes. Third, let's flip the script and look at Anaheim. Does this move actually make sense for the Ducks? Anaheim is firmly in a rebuilding phase, carefully constructing a roster around a highly talented young core. Their timeline is about development, gradual growth, and maintaining financial flexibility for the future. Adding a 32-year-old defenseman making $7.5 million for 4 more years doesn't accelerate that timeline. Rielly can absolutely help a team compete, but he's not a magic piece that suddenly transforms a rebuilding franchise into a Stanley Cup contender. For Anaheim, taking on that contract would be a misallocation of resources that could be better spent on prime-age free agents or extending their own young stars. So, what's the takeaway here? This is the classic problem with off-season trade ideas. They attempt to solve one team's problem while completely ignoring everyone else's reality. Could Morgan Rielly be traded someday? Of course. Hockey is a business and situations change. But if Toronto ever moves him, it will require a much stronger return, a more logical team fit, and most importantly, a player who is genuinely willing to make that move. A trade proposal is not realistic just because the cap numbers fit. Everything must add up, and in this case, the math just doesn't work. What do you think? Is there any realistic scenario where Rielly leaves Toronto, or is he a Leaf for life? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dive hockey analysis, and I'll see you in the next one.